Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This serves as episode 4, if I'm not mistaken, of my rig rundown series. This will be the last one. This time we're going to go over the front end and the interior. As always, I'm going to try and go into as much detail as possible for you guys to show you exactly what I've done to my truck to get it to where it is now. This should be arguably the one everyone's been waiting for. The front end's always the most fun. It's the most signature piece of any rig in my opinion. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so front end, front bar. I am running a custom made tube bar or skeleton bar or whatever you want to call it, pipe bar. This got made by myself and a couple of mates. This was the second one that we actually made. The first one didn't come out as I wanted it to, so we started again and rebuilt it, and this was the end result. Yeah, so it's wrapped in Raptor coating, or sprayed in Raptor coating I should say. Went with the 3-hoop design, and obviously the scrubs going off to the side as you guys have seen in previous videos. So inside the front bumper we've got a Runver 9,500 pound winch. We've got two 9-inch spotties up front. These are the truck lamp spotties. These are really good. I've enjoyed these. Get about 500-600 meters sprayed off those, which is more than enough. And then the other thing you'll see up front is the light bar. It's a hardcore light bar wrapped in a amber tint just to break the white light. And then we've also got these little spotlights that come on with my running lights during the day, also wrapped in amber just to break the amount of white light that comes off. And then while we're on the light topic, I've also done all the replacement bulbs inside my my normal headlights. So we're running the steady bulb for my normal lights at night, and then my high beam I've left as the amber stock bulb, just again breaking the whole white when we put the high beam on. So the steady HDMI bulb is insane. They are crazy bright. I can't even run these things on their full setting because everyone just thinks I've got my brights on. In fact, when I turn my brights on, it doesn't look like anything's changed. They're that bright. So the one thing that you must know on the Rangers, specifically the Ford Rangers obviously, the light module on these things is so sensitive that you have to do everything like 100%. You can't splice wires when you're doing kits and that. So like with the HID kit, you have to have the one that has the cooling system behind it with a module that plugs into the correct harness that then plugs into your light. So I have the steady harness that allows me to run my spotlights with my high beam switch on the steering wheel. So I had to import at the time a steady harness specifically to run on the Ford Ranger, because at the time when I first got all my steady lights and that, steady wasn't in the country yet. I believe they are in the country now. You can get steady lights from the Light Factory, I think it's called, the 4x4 Light Factory. And yeah, so I've got that harness in the vehicle as well, just so you guys know, it didn't splice any wires. It's a full plug and play piggyback harness. It literally goes into your normal light connector and then splits it, and then allows it to go work off your high beam switch, which is really nice. You don't have to have a separate switch for everything. Everything runs off it. With the harness, it has a separate switch, so you can turn off your high beam lights if you need to and then carry on driving. So yeah, those are all my lights. We've also got these ditch lights on the sides with a custom made bracket that I got made up by On Point Fabrication. These are awesome. So when you have all the lights on, you often get this like dead zone of light because all your lights are shooting forward. There is a bit of a spread that probably comes to this point, whereas that now then just shines down onto the floor and just creates all the light that you'll need from this area when you're looking out your side. And basically matching up with my lights that I've got on the rack there, I've got 360-degree light when I'm driving at night. So yeah, what else can I tell you? Still running the stock bash plate that the Ford Ranger comes with. It's been knocked a few times. I've taken it off, bent it back into shape and put it back on. I have not seen the reason to change it just yet. For communications, we're running the best, obviously the M-Tech whips. This whip is the shorty that's just recently come out with the date of this video. Very nice whip, awesome stuff, Aussie style, works very well. This whip is also from M-Tech. This is for my cell phone booster. So this is a VHF whip and this is a GSM whip. The GSM obviously boosts cell phone signal, which is also very nice. So basically, wherever I'm driving, I have full signal in the city, and as we get further and further out of the city, my signal obviously, or anyone's signal, will come and go, whereas this connects to the nearest tower and obviously just boosts that signal inside the vehicle. I'll show you the little box inside there shortly. What else can I show you in the front? So yeah, basically a lot of the work was progressed. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you would have seen that we had to like make room for the winch. Originally, this hole wasn't here. Those holes were there just to help breathe, help the engine breathe, so it wasn't just one big square box, which then we made a hole for the fair lead there. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what else can I tell you about the front end? Lights covered, everything else in the front is covered. I think what I'll show you next before we go into the interior is I'll show you what we've done under the hood, just to give you guys an insight of what I've done there. All right, engine bay. So we've got your Duratorque 2.2 6-speed manual Ford Ranger engine. The only modifications that we've done underneath the hood, if you want to call it that, is obviously the snorkel. We've modified where it brings in air. There's a little like pippy thing that normally comes off the airbox that sits inside the fender. Obviously that's not there anymore because the snorkel's there. We have done pre-fuel filter and a custom-made bracket that's sitting over there. Of course, this is where all my wiring for the entire vehicle runs through, lights, dual battery system. We've got the whips running through there. Try to get it as neat as possible. There is the harness for the steady lights running underneath there. You can see we made a hole here to get to the winch so I can engage it and disengage it. That's the winch sitting in there on its cradle. Another thing that's interesting about, well, not interesting, what I've done to the engine is we are running a custom stage 2 tune from Boostech. Loving the tune. From what I understand, it was the first time they had done a stage 2 tune specifically for the 2.2. Basically, I would say it's probably in the testing phase. All we've done is just turn the boost up from stock by 4% only, which has made a big difference. There are plans in the pipeline to do a hybrid turbo with an intercooler upgrade, boost pipes, and we'll be changing my exhaust as well. So right now I think it's 60mm into a 63mm straight pipe, but it was like a bit of a homemade job just to get the sound and breathing, but I will be changing that to a proper system soon. Yeah, what else can I tell you about the engine bay? Obviously we've got all our stuff fused underneath here, still running the stock air filter. Most of you guys will know with the Ranger there's no issue with our air boxes. They seal very nicely. The stock sort of filters work very well. Heard stories about the guys changing the filters to like a cleanable one, the ones that you clean with oil. And then what happens is when your engine is obviously under load and you're putting it under pressure, and obviously it's trying to suck in as much air as possible, what can tend to happen is the oils from the filter get pulled off and can actually go in and clog the intake, which is also not good. So personally, I've tried to avoid changing to that. I also just don't see the point because the stock one just works really well. Yeah, try and keep everything nice and neat under here when you clean the car. Give everything a nice clean, nothing like a dirty engine. Clean is always better. Yeah, I think that's it for the interior, under the hood. Let's go into the inside. I'm going to start with showing you guys the back seats that no longer exist, and then I'm going to go into the front area and show you guys where I operate the vehicle from. Alright, so the back seats no longer exist. As you can see, we have done a seat delete. I have got a platform that was made up. Then we made like a drawer system, if you want to call it that sits up here. These drawers were specifically, well, the yeah, the drawer was specifically made to hold these boxes or drawers that go fit perfectly into there. I've got one on both sides. I'll show you the other side shortly. And then what these 3 boxes act as is our wardrobe. So that's my wardrobe, Kirsten's wardrobe, and this is like our overflow wardrobe. Basically, it's Kirsten's second wardrobe. This area gets used for storage, sometimes solar panels, shoes, dirty laundry, whatever the case is. We've got these awesome seat covers that work really well just to keep your things that you need to get to quickly. On this side, I've got 55-litre water tank that lives in the truck. Obviously, there's my water outlets there. MTech whip, my second one, my big one, lives on the back here. Mounted it up really nice there. Medikit, easy to get to. Mirror for Kirsten, brushing her hair in the morning. Adventure hats, live there. And then up top we've got the Road Chef. Everyone calls it a pie oven, but I mean it's an oven. It can actually cook anything. Like it says there, bake, roast, reheat. So we've used this quite a bit on the eco trail we did last year. Very nice to be able to warm up food on the go while you're driving. And then just got lights up there. And then on the roof on this side you'll see my patch collection, but I'll show you that a bit more when you get to the front seat. Alright, and then on the other side we have the kitchen, I suppose you would call it. This is the, like I said, the other side. We've got 2 of these drawers. This is where we keep all of our food, dry food. And then of course this is the Flex CR65. This is where we keep all of our food when we're on our trips. It's really nice, breaks up into a freezer. And then this section acts as the fridge. You've got your storage here. You can also remove all of this and make it one big fridge or one big freezer, which is actually really nice. Works very well. On the big trips we run 2 fridges, but this one we can get away with 2 weeks, 10 days quite easily with just this fridge. Down here we've got my Flex 100 amp lithium battery in a custom made box. It just lives down there. Again, seat covers on this side, and then on this side is where my electronics are. It's the WRND. It's a lithium capable WRND. This, if you don't know much about WRND, guys, go give it a Google. Basically it's an all-in-one system, 20 amp charger, solar, DC-DC, as well as just those 2, I suppose. What am I talking about? Yeah, car, DC-DC, and solar. And then I've got you can just see there, a small inverter just for charging phones and stuff and my radios. And then they just all plug in here and charge over here. Alright, so before we get on to the fun side, this is Kirsten's side of the vehicle. So I've just got some wet wipes and stuff that we keep there. Like I said, these are the Trail Boss covers, seat covers, very nice. On this side we have some more patches, as well as our onboard Wi-Fi that just lives in the car on all the time. Kenwood base radio running the Aura channels, a couple other channels as well. Cubby hole just for general stuff, very important, always keep this in your vehicle. Also have up here the 4x4 assist dash cover. Really love this dash cover, very nice. We also use these magnet mounts throughout the vehicle, you'll see, for our cell phones. Obviously this is for Kirsten on this side of the vehicle. And then, like I said, our huge patch collection that is ever growing on the roof. And now let's get into the driver's side. Alright, so this is my side of the vehicle. Now obviously I'm sure everyone's going to say they would have done it a different way. However, this is what works best for me. So, fire extinguisher, very easy for both of us to get to. This switch just turns on the light that I showed you guys on the ceiling at the back over there. And then torch. And then below there, easy to reach, is the, what do you call them, binoculars. And then to show you guys again the patches from this side. Got some really cool ones. Want to get this whole roof filled. And then I want to start doing some stuff into the canopy as well, which would be really cool. So if you have any patches, let me know, send them to me. Also started doing the footwell down there, which is also really nice. Yeah, okay, so inside the vehicle, this is a replacement or an attachable rearview mirror. This is actually an LCD screen where my second camera for seeing the rear end of my vehicle is. because obviously when I have the canopy on and you know the oven's in the way, I can't really see out my back window anymore. So this acts as a screen where the camera obviously is the screen for the camera. Back here I have a, what are these things called? I can't even remember. An e-toll tag. Basically just lets me drive through the tolls. I don't have to stand in lines. That's something that we have here in South Africa. A lot of toll roads where you pay. So that just lets you go straight through the tolls without having to wait. Okay. Then steering wheel. Have a Garmin. I think it's called a Nuvi 100 or something. I got this when I was 18. Okay, when I first started driving, my mom got this for me, and I've had it since I was 18, so I'm 30 now. So this thing has lasted 12 years. It's still working fresh. It's got the most up-to-date maps it can hold, not the most up-to-date maps that are available. It has tracks for Africa, South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and I think I've got Botswana on there as well, which is really nice. So that lives there. Also on a magnet mount, so I can pull it off if I need to. And then, like I said, we've got the 4x4 assist, the dash matcher. This is also really nice. This one is removable, so keep papers in here, and then when I need to go into offices, that comes with. Obviously got pens, torches. This is a computer screen readout from the engine. Basically shows me my boost, engine temp, oil temperature, revs, speed. You can set it to do a whole bunch of different stuff. Those are just the ones that I have it set to. In my opinion, very important, because your gauges, it's not very accurate. It just sits at halfway when it's warm, and that's all you see. Whereas this gives you a digital readout, which is very nice. And that's just one of those flashy lights, just for when you're doing patrols, or if you need someone to see you, like it flashes from side to side, white. My cell phone lives here on its mount. This is another mount just for my radio, much easier than having like these standard mounts. Trying to slip it in here while you're driving really doesn't help. This, is my old iPhone. I use this for Google Maps. This just lives here on its mount all the time. And then down here we have a voltmeter. So this just, obviously it's not as accurate. So the one nice thing with the Flex 100 amp lithium is it has a Bluetooth BMS built into it. So I can connect it to my phone, see exactly what the battery is doing, charge in, charge out, level of charge, state of charge, all that. Whereas the voltmeter, obviously when I'm driving, I don't like to operate my phone too much. When I'm driving, I can look down there. There is a voltmeter chart that you can get that shows the voltage of where the state of charge is for lithium, because it's different to your normal like deep cycle or AGM battery. So I know that 13.7 means it is fully charged and it's sitting in float right now because nothing's pulling on it. And as I drive, obviously it fluctuates, but like I said, it's easy and it's nice to have it there just to look down when I'm driving to see it. And then we have my other charging points down there. The second switch for the spotties is there. Just get this to focus. There it is there. Yeah, like I said, manual transmission, armrest. I found the Ford Ranger very comfortable to drive. You can drive in this car for a long time. What else can I show you guys? Got my winch remote down here, wireless one. Two switches for my side lights and my ditch lights. And then I've got a bypass switch here for my light bar, so I can run the light bar on or off with my normal switch here on the steering wheel, or I can turn it off so it doesn't work at all, obviously. So that switch bypasses the spotlights, and that one then bypasses the light bar. So yeah, that is pretty much my entire rig now, captured on video, which is pretty cool. I know a lot of people are probably going to catch on to the fact that things have already changed from video 1 to now. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll also see that there are big changes going on with the vehicle. And if you watched the first episode of the episodes for the rig rundown, you'll see that I've always been contemplating when to do a rig rundown, because I never think that I'm done, but then I don't capture what I have done on film. And it also disappoints me. I mean, I put it on YouTube for everyone to see, but at the same time, it's also for me to have, on camera. You can also remember things, but it's nice to have, that visual. So yeah, there have been changes. Stay tuned. There's some really cool stuff coming on the vehicle. I will be doing another video shortly about what's going to happen. We've got some new partners on board, which is really cool. Existing partners, which is also really cool. Nice to keep the guys with me. So yeah, basically, I hope you guys have enjoyed these episodes. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Please follow me on Instagram. You can ask me questions on Instagram. I reply to everyone. Doesn't matter how long it takes. I always get to the guys or the girls. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much. I think, I didn't cover everything actually. There's a couple of things that I just remembered. So these mats are from ACA, really nice replacement mats from what the Ranger comes with. They got a nice edging here, traps all the dirt. Also got these puddle lights that come on. Can't see them now obviously because it's during the day. They project a Ford logo, which is really nice. And then let me try and see if you guys can see this. I've got some awesome interior lights. You can just see them. They match the interior of my vehicle. So the Ranger has like a blue sort of light up display, if you want to call it that. So that's just there for at night. I like a little light in the vehicle when I'm driving. I don't like when the vehicle's very dark. Couple bulbs I changed here. You can see that one's red and this one is a proper white. All of them have been replaced. Those are red. So at night, if we want to see, the light doesn't irritate my eyes. So these reading lights are red. So you can also drive with them on if we need to. And then I often get people asking me, what are these for? And I've been told I have weak neck muscles, but I find when I'm driving, I think it's just the position that I drive in. If the car is going down a dirt road and you move around sometimes when you're off-road, that's rude. My head sometimes used to hit you. So I put these up to stop my head from hitting the side curtain rail. So yeah, that's basically just protection. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys. If I missed something that you saw that I didn't talk about, please let me know. Otherwise, enjoy and stay tuned for the next video. Don't you just hate forgetting to film something? So I didn't show you guys the WeBoost. So the WeBoost for the GSM whip, this little device that's glued on here, there, try and see if I can make it. It's like a black box basically. That is your inside Wi-Fi, if you want to call it that. Boost the signal into the vehicle, and any device can do up to 5 devices. Obviously the closer the device, it'll boost that one's signal. So that's why it's there. That's where the phones and the Wi-Fi all is. Then underneath my seat here, can't really see it, but underneath my seat is where the WeBoost actually sits. Little box. It almost looks like a radio, but yeah, that's where the wires go in and out, and that's where the inside antenna is. So external antenna, inside antenna. And then the one other thing that I forgot to tell you guys about was what else I had to do to the front bumper. You need to write all this stuff down and have a whiteboard here to tell you what you need to talk about. But yeah, the other thing we had to do, so you'll see behind here, we left all this exposed. It is all safe. I've been driving like this for 5 years now. These are just your wires to your hooter and nothing too serious that's sitting behind there. You can just see behind there. We had to trim the fenders to get the flare guards on the inside to accommodate. And then yeah, it gives it quite a naked look, which is very nice. But yeah, I'm not going to ramble too much on this one, but this is the end of the video. Thanks guys.